So I started this week on Wednesday with a Zwift race. I'd ridden my bike Tuesday evening and it rained the whole time. I enjoyed the ride. I was feeling quite good, feeling quite strong on the bike, and I enjoyed it. It wasn't windy, but it chucked it down. So when I came to have time to ride my bike on Wednesday evening, it was quite late. I didn't have a chance until after the little ones had gone to bed. So I decided to sign up for a Zwift race. So I entered a Category C Zwift race and I came 5th out of 9 in Zwift Power. So not a bad result. It was hard going, but not a bad result. So I've got a little bit of video on that. Not a great deal. So day 1 of week 2. I'm having a Zwift evening this evening. I've entered a race at 20 past 9. It's now 20 to 9, so the app's just updating at the minute. Once that's done, I'm going to have a bit of a warm up, a bit of a ride round, and then get stuck into the race. I went out last night in the rain and I had a really good ride, but you can't ride every day in the rain. It's miserable, proper miserable out there. So yeah, fingers crossed. When I race in Zwift, I'm a Category C racer. I think that's 2.5 to 2.9 watts per kilogram average, something like that. So my FTP is at 244 currently, and my weight is currently 76 kilos. So I think my FTP puts me about 2.9 watts per kilogram. So I'm still a Category C, fortunately. I never finish anywhere near the front. I'm always way behind, but we'll see how it goes. I'll see if I can give you an update as it goes on. So I've done a bit of a warm up now. I've been watching some YouTube while I'm doing the warm up. I'm in the start pen, ready for the start of the race. 8 minutes to go, so I'll just carry on spinning the legs and we'll see how it goes. I couldn't film during the race. I gave that everything. I came, provisional results are 71st out of 157, but I shall check the final results on Zwift Power later. Dead. Day 2, week 2 was Thursday. I went out on the road on Thursday. Now my plan was, hold on, I need to check some numbers. Let me have a look at my training log. So I'd ridden Tuesday and I'd ridden Wednesday on the turbo trainer. So for the calendar week, I needed 38 more miles to hit 100 miles for the week, and that's my target mileage for the week, 100 miles. So I thought it'd be nice if I can get that done in 3 days. So I went out on Thursday evening with the intention of doing that. So I'm back out on my bike Thursday today. Managed to get out nice and early, straight after work. I've done 28 miles so far and it's just gone 5 o'clock. So the target today is to cover 38 miles. So that'll tick me off for 100 miles for the week, which would be nice to get in only 3 rides. So I've come out, started raining again as you'd expect. But my legs, after last night's race, my legs feel absolutely ruined today. I'm really struggling. I've got 10 miles to go, so I'll get these done. And then after I've had some tea, I can do me off the bike workout, which isn't too intense on the legs today, so that shouldn't be too bad. Now with that 38 miles done, I was feeling a little bit, because the Zwift race was hard, Tuesday night's ride was hard, and Thursday night was hard. So my legs were feeling a little bit tired. I'm also doing me off the bike leg exercises, which are taking a toll a bit, but I had tired legs, so I took an extra rest day on the Friday and didn't ride. Did my normal off the bike exercises, but didn't ride my bike because if you do too much, you're just going to end up undoing some of the hard work you've put in. So took a rest day Friday and I went out on Saturday for a ride. I didn't take my camera with me Saturday when I went out. I'll show you the Strava route here. One segment on that ride was one of the worst hills, I'll call it locally, Hanbury Hill, and I smashed my personal best up that hill. I did, let me just have a look, I did 3 minutes 10 up there, which was about 20 seconds faster than my previous record about 2 weeks earlier, so I was pretty pleased with that. So Saturday was a good ride, and then I headed out Sunday for another one. So Sunday I went out and did 31 miles, so not a bad effort. Now Saturday, just go back to Saturday a moment, Saturday is weigh-in day. Previous week I lost 1.9 pounds. This week I only lost 0.9 pounds. Now I think I've ridden quite a lot, but I've also eaten quite a lot, and I think I'm starting to creep up in what I'm eating again. Not the quality of stuff, I'm still eating good stuff, I'm just eating a lot of it, so I need to really try harder to cut that back and try and bring that down a bit, because you can eat the right things but you can eat too much of the right things, and I'm not expecting to lose a great deal this coming week either, because I've kind of fallen in that trap again. So Saturday I lost 0.9 pounds, which took me down to 160. Should have remembered all of this information first. Took me down to 167.8 pounds. So it's a loss, so it's a win. Does that make sense? Yeah, so I'm still going down. My target weight is still 154 pounds, so I've got about 12 pounds, 12.5 pounds, 12.8 pounds to go. So I'm heading in the right direction, just a little bit slower than I'd like. So the following day was Monday, just gone, and I've ridden. I did Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday night I just went out. I didn't have a great deal of time. I left it quite late to go out on my bike. It was nearly 8:30 by the time I went out. So I just decided I was going to go out and push as hard as I could over a short distance. I've got a route that's 16 miles that I like, so I just went out to push as hard as I could around there, and I did it. I pushed quite hard. So that was Monday. Tuesday I decided I'd try something different. Now the problem I have when I ride my bike is I'm constantly trying to race myself, constantly trying to push myself to go as fast as I can, and that doesn't really do you a lot of good. So on Tuesday I picked out a route that's 27 miles, and I decided I'm going to stick and do it at a nice slow steady pace. So I kept an eye on my heart rate, monitored that, and made sure I kept it around 130 beats per minute. So I did the ride and felt great, and my average heart rate was 131, so I nailed it. And that was yeah, 27 miles. So all in, quite a good week on the bike. I think I've managed about 175 miles, and I've managed to do my daily off the bike leg exercises and core exercises. So yeah, it's been a pretty good week. A little disappointing not losing as much weight as I had done the week before, but that's purely down to what I've been eating. So one change I made weekend just gone compared to the previous weekend was that I didn't have anything to drink. On the weekend before I had some beer on the Saturday night, so I just didn't have anything to drink Saturday night this week or Friday night, so that made for a better ride on Sunday as well. So I'll keep trying to change what I'm eating and see if I can make some improvements come Saturday next week. Okay, so before we finish this video, I just wanted to talk about a little bit of work on my bike. So I didn't ride Friday, partly because I needed new parts for my bike. On Thursday I decided I was going to change my rear gear cable. I was having a few problems with the gears changing on the back of my bike, so I set about changing my gear cable. I had a spare on the shelf, so I set about changing it and realised when it only came to here that it was actually a front cable and not a rear cable, so it wasn't long enough. So I had to get myself into the bike shop to change it. I'd already ordered a couple of bits. I did have this Tiagra rear derailleur fitted on the bike. It's not that old, but it was a long cage, and I had a medium cage before, so the gear shift was never quite 100%. So I've now fitted a short cage Shimano 105 derailleur on there, and it goes through the gears perfectly with a new cable. Also, I've swapped the derailleur hanger just to eliminate that as something that's causing me problems, because it's exactly the same one as on my mountain bike that's just hung up there behind the camera. And that one's straighter. There was a slight bend in the one that was fitted here, so I've done that derailleur hanger, new cable, new derailleur, and it's changing gear much better now. I do need to change my chain. I've got one of those Park Tool chain measuring tools that says it's ready for change, so I need to get that changed before I have to replace the cassette, because the cassette on here, I've actually got an Ultegra one, which was quite expensive, and I don't want to wear that out prematurely. If I can get another chain out of that, then happy days. The rest of the bike's running perfectly well. Put a new bottom bracket in last week because that was getting a bit grindy and was creaking and whatnot, so yeah, done that. But the bike's running really well. I've had new brake pads this week because mine were worn quite considerably. My wheel rims are starting to get a little bit of hollow wear in them, a little bit dished. I can still see the wear marker on there, so I don't need to change the wheels yet, but the bike's done in excess of 12,000 miles. I mean, I've got 10,000 on it on Strava, and I was riding for a few years, commuting 20 miles each way before I joined Strava, so yeah, it's got a few miles on it, and these wheels have held up really well, so at some point they'll have to be changed, but not just yet. So I just wanted to just give you that little bit. Bikes do need maintenance like cars. I'm quite often tweaking stuff, changing stuff. The seat, you can't see, it's just out of shot, but that's not the original saddle, that's the one off my mountain bike as well, because the original saddle started to fail a bit. Over the winter I'm going to recable it fully, do all the outers, because I've only done the inner here. Do the inner and outer brake and gear cables, and check all the bearings over and whatnot. So yeah, I just thought I'd add that in the end of the video. It's not been so much content this time. I've not recorded so much while I'm out on my bike. I've not took my GoPro with me. I'll try and do that in the future. I'm just finding the wind noise a little bit irritating. I don't know what you think when I'm riding my bike, so I need to look into ways of reducing the wind noise and just making that a bit better to watch. So thanks again for watching. If you've enjoyed it, drop us a comment. I know these aren't as popular as my mini videos, but I'm enjoying making them, so let me know what you think. Cheers guys.